Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to discuss about enterprise IT architecture and how we can enforce security in that architecture. So let's begin today's lecture. This is the lecture of week 3 and 4 we are going to discuss today. So we what we are going to say is that a normal IT enterprise architecture is based on some business values, like there should be a corporate should have a vision and some aims and objective, and to follow that or to fulfill that aim and objective, the the leaders will make some strategies and planning to fulfill those objectives and aim of that business. And when they define the strategies, there should be some roadmap, like what is the timeline and how they are going to achieve that timeline. So that is how the people or organization establish their establish their enterprise architecture. So once the vision, strategy, and roadmap is being defined, then the company or the organization will try to look and gather the requirement, that is requirement of the stakeholder, what people really want, what are their problems, and try to overcome those problems. So your business should be profitable and you should deliver value to your business. So there should be a back and forth uh, movement between the requirement and delivery, and you will have a close collaboration with your customer or stakeholder to understand their requirement, to show them prototype, to get review from them, and what are the enabler that will help you to fulfill that architecture is the knowledge or expertise you have in your team, in your leadership position. If a leader is sound in knowledge, is expert in its technology, then he can or she will able to run the business very well. So any enterprise architecture is being based on the cutting edge technology. You have to be aware of the competition that is in the market, and what are the regulatory bodies, what are the rules and regulations that you have to fulfill, and on basis of those information that particularly drive your business, and that is how your business can grow. So now we are talking about enterprise IT architecture, and here security is comes with the vision. If the leader at the topmost position know that he has to enforce security within the enterprise architecture, then security will be the part of the architecture. Now we will see how we are going to make this enterprise a secure enterprise architecture. So, enterprise architecture is basically based on your business architecture, your data architecture, application architecture, and technology architecture. So, these are the stacks that helpful in developing the enterprise architecture. There should be some business diagram or documentation or white paper you have, how you are going to fulfill your business requirement, what will be the benefit, what will be the cost margin, and then you should have to know what are the data you are going to process, what are the inputs, what are the output, and how you are maintaining those databases within your systems, what are the application, what are the frameworks, which technologies are your business driving it. So that is these things are important to know when you are making enterprise architecture. So that is a big diagram that representing That enterprise architecture is basically is for the people and for the stakeholders, like your external influences. There are your clients or customer, it can be your partners or alliance and supplier. So all of these stakeholders are the one who are driving your enterprise architecture. Then the objective or vision will drive the strategy and the intent what you are doing going to do, and this will automatically help you to make value chain and make your processes more meaningful, more productive. And that is how, if your value chain and processes are streamlined and you have a proper guideline for that, then you can process the product or services, and that will give you the revenue and the cost. So these values and processes are based on the resources you have. It can be the information, knowledge, your human resource, your capability of your team, physical assets, how many assets you have. So that is important. And the prime driving force is the governance, the compliance team that will look into your architecture and see either you are fulfilling the guideline of the compliance, are you fulfilling the governance. So that is how your entire enterprise architecture is being based upon. Your enterprise architecture should fulfill these requirements, like there should be some authorization, there should be some audit and monitoring mechanism, authentication of your human resource or your employees, then access control, like there should be some lock and key mechanism, like you have to have some biometric to verify your identity. Then you have to enforce network security to protect your assets. Then you have to encrypt your data and provide some masking on your data to secure it. Then system security, how you're going to secure your system. Then comes the infrastructure security, like the things you have or the hardware you have, how you're going to secure it. So these are the things you have to consider while developing or making the enterprise security architecture. So, if you want to become a security architect, you have to have four key things in yourself. There should be a mindset, like what are the key behavior an enterprise architect should follow, how he think like a leader, how he play the roles. Skill set, you should have a expertise in cybersecurity and other fields also, so that you have the information of each and everything within the infrastructure as well as the software part of your company. Then IT processes and services. Then you should have a business knowledge like organizational journey, product, customers, and market. And there should be a most important requirement, that is your soft skill, critical and analytical thinking, business communication. So that is very important. So, how to become an enterprise security architecture? Cyber security enterprise architecture. Then we have cloud cyber security architect, cyber security application architect. So, these are the three fields you can join to become an enterprise security architect. So, you have to follow the roles, mindset, tools, and domain. Okay, if you are designing a cyber security infrastructure, so first of all, you have to follow the five principle and you have to avoid one. So first principle is defense in depth, multi-factor authentication. You have to provide multi layers of security, like there should be two-way authentication process. First you have to enter your login and password, and then you have to enter the secret key or secret pin, so that the we can verify the authenticity of the user who is going to log in or use the resources of our infrastructure. Then we have to patch all the software, or the operating system should be updated and patched So that is very important. If you are using handheld devices or mobile devices, then you have to patch it and update it. Updated security policies, like policies that are being enforced, should be updated. Then you have to make you have to update the security policies. Then comes endpoint detection and response, next generation antivirus, firewalls, vulnerability assessment like apps and server and web servers. So you have to evaluate the vulnerabilities and assess them. Then database access control like password protection should be enforced on your databases. If you have some endpoint devices and they are connected to the internet, and they are going to fall or reach your web server, then you have to provide a firewall in between to protect your assets, to protect your Oracle database. So that is how you have to enforce security, and there should be no single point of failure. Least privilege means like if you have authority and your business need to get resources or things to be accessed, then only you can provide the resources to that person, and it should be time box. It should be time box. Then you have to harden the system, like there should be like there are things how system can behave, like http is only used for the web traffic. File transfer ports can be used for the file transfer, secure tunnel, and you have to remove all the unnecessary IDs. And if you are not using these services, if you are not using them, then you have to block them or close the ports of those ports, so that the bad actor cannot enter in your security architecture. And you have to change the default passwords. Privilege just in case. For example, it shouldn't be like that. Then separation of duty, no single point of control. Request to administrator, and then administrator will fulfill the requirement. Secure by design. So there you have to follow the security guideline at each and every point, not at one step. You have to enforce security in your requirement gathering, collecting, and planning and of your project. Then at developing or coding the things, and then at the end you have to test either your system are vulnerable or not. So secure out of the box. Designer, administrator, and user all the stakeholders should use it. Keep it simple, not easy for a bad guy to breach, but not difficult for a good guy to maintain the security posture. So it is your duty to keep the things simple. Like if we talk about a cryptography algorithm, that should be simple enough that you should know each and every step. So it should be complex. Complexity is an enemy of security. So password rule should not be so hard for people to adapt it, like they feel it difficult to adapt them, and will make password same for all the application. So that is not desirable for our case. So we have to make things simple, and we have to think about the user who are using our application. So we have to make it simple. Security by obscurity, we have to avoid it. Secret is not secure, like the encryption system are we don't want our encryption system to be a black box. We want it to be a glass box. All crypto system like AES and RSA are the encryption systems, and they should be um, their procedure or the steps that should be taken to encrypt a system should be well defined, and that are being known universally. The key that will help to encrypt the system should be secret, but the algorithm itself should not be secret, and everybody should know what are the steps that are being taken to make things encrypted. So this is one of the architecture or framework, like we call it SAFE 6.0, in which we adapt agility, like organizational agility, lean portfolio management, enterprise solution delivery, agile product delivery, team and technical agility. So in this process, what we are going to do is that we have to follow a continuous exploration, continuous integration, and continuous development. That is how we can able to provide uh, secure DevOps. So that is how we are going to fulfill it. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.